Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Sasquatch Theory. In this episode, I interview a guest who does not wish to share his name, and I respect that. And hopefully, a lot more people in the future don't care about what others think or any repercussions when it comes to talking about Bigfoot. People will make fun of you and look at you like you are crazy, but it's okay. Anyone who has stepped out of their comfort zone and reached out for something new has been called a wacko. Our guest today talks about a roadside encounter him and his wife had years ago, and he has always thought about it ever since. He claims him and his wife argued about it for years because they both experienced something a little different from their individual point of view. Over the weekend, I went camping with my researcher friends, and we joined up with the Half-Inch Wrench crew, and they were kind enough to let us camp in the area they have had many encounters and experiences in, and it was a lot of fun. I remember going to bed in my hammock and hearing two loud and distinct whoops coming from the other side of the property. I could not believe it. I got up and ran to the spot with my thermal device, and I didn't see anything, nor did I hear anything the rest of the night. It blew my mind how they can vocalize and just disappear like that. If you enjoy listening to Sasquatch Theory and listening to real-life Bigfoot encounters, then please like and subscribe, and it really helps the channel out a lot. Alright everyone, let's dive into this next Bigfoot encounter that took place in the Show Me state of Missouri. Well, if you would, start off from the beginning, what you were doing that day, and just try to give as much detail as possible, if you would.
We were coming home. We just sold some property down in Goose Creek. Uh, that's in Missouri, and we were down there, and we were coming home, and we were about a mile from our house as the crow flies. I mean, we were very close to our house. It was it was in April. It was it was about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we were driving down the Highway 47 two-lane road. I was probably going 50 miles an hour, and I saw a large figure walking. This is how it happened. This is why me and my wife argued for almost 3 years. We argued about this. So we're driving down the road, and I said to my wife, I said, "Did you see that?" It was a pause in the truck, and she said, "Yes, I did." And I said, "Yeah, I just saw this 7, 8 foot tall figure." I said, "Well, it's turkey season. It looked like somebody." I said, "Maybe it was somebody in full camouflage." Nope, there was no gun. I said, "I just saw this large thing walking through a bean field." It was just coming up in April. It was a bean field going down to Charette Creek. And I said, did you see that?" "Yes, I did." And so we went home. It was very quiet in the truck, because she said, "That was not a man." And I said, "Yeah, it could have been." I tried to talk her out of it. And my wife is she's a graduate of Washington University. She's a political science major. She's not crazy or at all. And she said, "No, there's no way you're going to talk me out of that. I know what I saw." And I said, "Okay." So then over the next year, every time me and her would drive out, I would say, "Yeah, right here in this field is where I saw this, right here by our house." She said, "No, that's not where I saw it. It was down here." So we went down the road, and I said, "No, I didn't see that there." So then one day, finally, about about 6 months ago, I said, we got to get back in the car. And we're arguing about where she got mad at me one time. She was yelling at me. So you're telling me that I saw Bigfoot in a different place than you did? And I said, yeah, you're wrong. I saw it clearly right here. So we drove down there and we went back, same path. And she said, right here by this, it's a huge field. It's all farmland. And there's one oak tree and it's out there. And she said, I saw it walking there. And I said, okay, that's where you saw it. She said, that's where I saw it. And I said, okay, let's time it. So we drove 5-6 seconds down the road. I said, now this is where I saw it. And she said, no, I didn't see that. So I said, so what we're talking about here is we saw two animals that we're just going to have to call Bigfoot within 6 seconds in two different places, all go in the same direction towards Shrek Creek. And I said, okay. So we finally got that put to rest. It took, like I said, it took a couple of years of man and wife arguing. We argued about this forever. And I just said, I don't want to talk about it no more. And please don't tell nobody. Please don't tell nobody that you saw this. I think it was, I tried to talk her out of it. I said, it's probably just a very large person, and she said, no, that was not a human. And she said that the arms are real long. She said, there's no way that was a human. I could not talk her out of it. We've been arguing about, like I said, we've been arguing about it for a couple of years. And so then that was that. We finally got that put to rest. We were both at peace. We saw two Bigfoots in 5 to 6 seconds, all going in this. They were going in the same direction, two different places.
Yeah, that is interesting. What do the creatures look like? Or the one you saw, anyways.
Well, very typical stuff that you've seen, all the videos, very tall. No, like I said, I kept thinking maybe it was somebody was hunting, but no gun, arms swinging, very, hands swinging next to the knees. Very tall, but not really heavy. That's why I told her. I said, we see all this stuff because I watch Bigfoot Theory. I watch, the BFRO. I watch all that. I watch Finding Bigfoot. I've watched all that stuff. I said, this thing did not look like real heavy. It looked very tall and very lean. Not heavy at all.
Mm-hmm. What color was it?
Kind of grayish, kind of gray.
Okay. Could you see any of the facial features?
Mm-mm.
No.
No. We were what I saw was oh my gosh, looking from there probably was 80 to 100 yards off the road.
Okay.
Yeah, in an open field. No, I just saw the backside of it, and I saw it and my one friend who has had many encounters down in I'm trying to think of that little place he lives in down there by Goose Creek. He just said, Dave, he's had all kinds of encounters, but he said, if you saw what you saw, and I said, yeah, I only saw it. We only saw it. Whatever we saw was for like 3 to 4 seconds. That's it. He said, you should have went out and bought a lottery ticket. You guys saw something that normally people don't see.
Yeah. And how far away was this encounter from the Merrimack River, or any river for that matter?
Oh, very close to no, not the Merrimack. It was
The
close
Miss.
to the Missouri River.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. The Missouri.
The Missouri River. The Missouri River's right here where I live, and I got thousands of acres around me, and then so I have had, and I got a dog that will fight a chainsaw. I'm serious. This dog ain't afraid of nothing. And I've heard screams back here. Now I can only say I've only heard that like 2 times at night. I let him out 10, 11 o'clock at night. And that dog, he will go after a pack of coyotes that are back here. And I'm worried for him because he thinks he's 300 pounds and he's not. And he goes after these coyotes. And but when I heard this scream, this dog crawled up underneath me and was shaking to the point he wouldn't leave the porch. He crawled up and said, "Yeah." So, and I know that sound. I've heard that sound hunting back. Man, I'm telling you, I got a little bit of history with this Bigfoot stuff
Mm-hmm.
that I didn't even know I did. I was hunting back in Eminence. You know where Eminence, Missouri is?
Yeah, I know where that's at.
Yeah, Eminence and Van Buren area. I had people that I knew that they lived off the land and they had a place up there in the woods and they just lived off the land. I used to go there and I was deer hunting and I heard this. I was turned around in the woods. I was lost. I heard that scream, but I didn't even know because back in those days, none of this stuff was on TV. I wasn't even afraid. I just thought, wow, I don't know what that is. That's nothing I know in the woods. So yeah, I have a little bit of history. Uh, so I kind of know. I've heard it, and yeah,
Can you describe the scream? Was it like a woman or like deep and guttural?
guttural. Oh, horrible, just horrible, and just yeah, wow, just really loud. And like I said, I was more concerned about where I was when I heard it. I was more concerned about like, I got to get out of here. It's getting dark. I wasn't even concerned about that. I didn't even realize what I was listening to until years later. I was, watching one of the uh, Bigfoot things where they had vocalizations, and I sat here, and my wife, I sat here, and I said, "That's what I heard," and that's what I heard here where I live right now. I said, "That is exactly what I heard." So anyway, yeah, I have tried over the years to talk my wife out of this. And she won't change her mind. She said, "No, I saw what I saw, and that was not a human. That was a large animal." And she'll just demonstrate it. She's done it. She's done it to other people that we've talked to about it. And we haven't talked to a lot of people about it because I told her, don't talk to people about this. We don't tell people this stuff. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, I'm telling you
Mm-hmm.
because I I watch what you do and I get it, and I know you want to know uh,
Yeah,
any
absolutely.
information. And that's why I called you guys.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. And did the the creature that your wife saw, was it the same description as what you seen?
Exactly.
Okay.
No, exactly to a T. And her, like I said, we we went back because we were arguing about it for years. We went back and we drove the same way. And I said, "Where did you see this?" And she said, "Right there by that big. There's one big monstrous oak tree out in the middle of this huge field." I said, "Okay, so you saw it right there." I said, "I did not see that. I did not see that." Timed it, and I said, 5 seconds, 6 seconds later, going 50 miles an hour, I said, "I saw what I saw right here." And that's why we argued for years, because I kept saying every time we drive, because when we go to town, we always drive past this field. And I always go, "Yep, that's where I saw that." Nope, nope, I didn't see it there. I saw it over here. So then I had, like I said, I just kind of went back and I said, "We got to get this straightened out." So we quit arguing about this. So we came to the conclusion that we saw two within 6 seconds on the same day walking in the same direction, basically toward Shred Creek, which dumps into uh, the Missouri, the no, the Missouri River.
Okay. But whenever you saw the creature, did you notice her react, or did she not see it?
Did I notice what?
When you saw the first Sasquatch, did did you notice that she saw it too?
No, it was a 5 second. We were driving down the road, and it was a pause, because when you see this, I'm just telling you, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if I know you probably have seen Sasquatch. I don't know, but when you see something like this,
Mm-hmm.
your brain just goes into a pause,
Yeah.
because
Yeah, it does.
here's how here's how I roll. Here's how I roll. I've been in the woods all my life. I could tell you when I see an animal, bam, my grandson saw mountain lions here. When you see a mountain lion, when you see a coyote, fox, or whatever, you see it, bam, right away. You go, "That's what it is," and it's simple. But when you see that, what we saw, your brain goes into a pause, and that's why when I said to her, 5 seconds went by and I saw what I saw, and I go, "Did you just see that?" She said, "Yes, I did. It was a very large ape like thing walking over the hill." And I said, "Yeah, I did, right here." That's what caused the problem between us, because I kept saying, "Well, it was in this little field, this little bean field." No, we just argued about it, like I said, for almost 3 years. We argued about this.
Yeah.
And so after that, we just never talked to nobody about it. And then I've told her some of the stuff that has I've heard here. And so the saga goes on.
Yeah, yeah, no, I understand. I was kind of thinking maybe there was like missing time there. People have mentioned that in the past, but it could be like you were looking forward and you saw one in one field, and maybe she was looking out the window and noticed a different one. It's hard to say.
Yep. No, we've concluded that, unfortunately, it sounds crazy, doesn't it? That sounds pretty crazy that you would see two different uh, animals like that in the same within 5 6 seconds. But if you're moving down the highway, uh, that's what we saw.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. And it could have been that there was a family clan moving across the area, and yeah, you guys probably saw multiple Sasquatch, and they're out there. And from the description, there's been a lot of reports from that area, specifically that river. But have you had anything else happen after that? You or your wife? Anything strange? Any paranormal activity? Anything like that?
No, no, I have gosh, my friend who he gave me a couple of game cameras, and I said, you know what? He said, why don't you take these and put them up there around? Because I'm surrounded by, like I said, there's thousands of acres of woods here. I'm not a big deer hunter. I used to hunt all the time, but I go, man, we see so much deer. Oh, here's another thing that's happened here. And I don't know what to tell you about this. And I can show you the couple of years ago, I found a deer laying there, full carcass. And it was a skeleton. It was completely decomposed. It was a deer with no head. And I looked around and I never found a head. So we thought that was kind of cool because I got all the vertebrae. I picked up the whole thing, and I might have took pictures of it. I don't remember. Then the next year, I found a buck, a head of a buck, a skeleton head with the horns in the head in the same place, but no body. And we found this, and I'm going, that is not where I live. People around here don't kill deer. Especially this was a trophy. I could text you a picture of I could text you a picture of this buck I found, and nobody would leave this. This is a trophy. It was just a head down in the holler next to my house. It was just a head and no deer. And I looked everywhere for the body. And why would there just be a head? No hunter would leave that. I mean, that's why you hunt, right?
Yeah, that is interesting. Could be a gift from the Sasquatch, possibly. They do things like that.
Well, I have it. It's in my. I have it here. I'll send you a I'll show you a picture of it, and you'll just go, "Oh my gosh, it was perfect." I'll send you. I'll send you.
Okay.
I'll send you. I'll send you a text of this. I got to get on here where you're at.
No, you're fine. Um, could you see any eye shine from the Sasquatch, you or your wife?
In my. What do you mean? My game cameras?
No, whenever you guys had the encounter, did you see any eye shine from the creature?
Oh
Or
no,
was that a
no,
daytime
no.
encounter or was that at nighttime?
Yeah, it was 2:30
Okay,
in
yeah.
the afternoon. The sun was shining. 3 o'clock in the afternoon. 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. No, no, no. They were walking away from us, and they were walking away. Both of them. Well, like I said, I didn't see what my wife saw,
Hmm.
but I saw what I saw,
Yeah.
and we both go back and forth with this, but she describes the same damn thing I saw. They pretty much sounded, because I kept saying, you know what? I almost went into Marthasville. I live near Marthasville, Missouri.
Hmm.
I don't know if you know where Marthasville. There's not. It's a very small town.
No, I've never heard of it.
Yeah, Marthasville. I was going down. I was going to go down because all the farmers kind of congregate at the feed mill there, and I was all at one point. It was about a year or two ago. I was thinking, I'm going to go down here and I'm going to ask, is there anybody that lives in Marthansville that hunts that maybe is like 7 foot tall? You never know. Uh, I've never seen anybody in town that big, but I'm going, is there anybody around here that's really big that would be out walking around in full camouflage? Because that's what I tried to tell my wife. Maybe it's just somebody in camouflage. She said, I cannot talk her out of it. And I never did it. I never did it. I'm glad I didn't. I just don't want to because people, like I said, people think you're crazy. I'm sure you get called crazy all the time.
Oh yeah, all the time. Do you think the Sasquatch were eating soybeans? Is that why they were in the field?
Yeah, that was in a soybean field. Yep, that was yep. Yeah, there and it's soybeans right now. Same field. I go by it. I look every time I go by it. And it's a really small field. It's the one I saw. It was a really small, but surrounded by woods. So this thing just 4 or 5 steps, man, was off the hill, off the little knoll, the way the hill runs down. This thing was gone in 4, 5 steps. Gone. Just gone.
Yeah. And where did it seem like it was going to? Like what direction?
Creek, toward Shrek Creek. I'd have to, I mean, without looking at a map, uh,
Mm.
yeah, this creek runs. There's water in there year round, which runs into Missouri River. Uh, this thing, yeah, is. I'm sure there's fish in there. I don't know. I don't hang out. It's not on my property, so I don't know nothing about. I've never been down there.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like there's a lot of Sasquatch up there just because the waterways. There's a lot of waterways near Marthasville. That's about, I don't know, almost an hour away from where I had my encounters. I've had a few here in Missouri, but yeah, I
So
mean
you,
it's the
so
same region.
you've actually you've laid eyes on a Sasquatch.
Yeah, yeah, multiple times. I have the story recorded on my channel. I'll have to send it to you. It's kind of a lot, but I don't know. It's a little different than, saw one, never saw one again. It's quite a bit of stuff. But yeah, they're out there and I've seen them before for sure.
Okay, yeah. You know what? And what I tell people that, and there's a guy while we were talking,
Mm.
because I told him, I said, yeah, I tried to contact Sasquatch theory. I went on there and it says something about Gmail, and I don't do all that stuff, and I don't do all that, and I thought I just want to talk to somebody. If they want to hear the story, that's fine. I'll tell them. I'm not trying to be famous. I don't want my name involved with anything. I'm not trying to do that. I really, and I get, I've heard so many people say the same thing where they deal with this stuff all the time and they don't want anybody, for one reason, is they don't want people coming around their property looking for Sasquatch, because there's so many people out there looking, and I get that why landowners don't want that.
Yeah, no, I understand. And it's rare to find people that'll let you explore their property, or even if it's public land, people don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, and that one guy, who's that guy that you were doing, that farmer down there, with the guy that was because I watched every one of your videos
Hmm.
down
David
there
from
where
the Killing Fields.
yeah, the killing fields.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh. That was so cool listening to that guy
Hmm.
talk, and he just opened up his world. And I thought, man, this guy, I was amazed that he would be that open to let you come in there and then put it out there. So I'm sure he's getting people coming, trying to come on his property or, you know, trespass and go look for Bigfoot, you know.
No, he's never had anybody show up for Bigfoot.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, that's pretty surprising just because how many views there are on the video.
Oh my gosh, how many? I mean, I don't even know. I mean, I when I watch it, I don't even look at the views. I could care less about the views. I'm
Mhm.
just watching it for the information because I believe I am a believer. I've always been a believer, and now I'm really a believer.
Yeah, no, I understand. Okay. Do you have anything else you'd like to share? Anything strange that you experienced or found? Anything like that?
No, that's pretty much it. I pretty much told you everything.
Okay.
Just just the site, the what we saw, and then the stuff that we've heard, and then the the weird the dead animals, which are kind of weird. Can't explain that. Nobody can explain that. They keep saying, "Well, we got mountain lions here." I go, "Well, mountain lions don't tear the head off of things. They just don't do that.
Yeah,
They
you'll have to send me a photo of that if you haven't already.
no, I didn't. Yeah, that one blew my mind. That was the most recent. And you
Hmm.
explained to me how come that happened, and everybody said, "Oh, that was just coyotes. That was just coyotes. They just drug that head over." And I'm going, I don't agree with that because I live in the land of hunters and people that hunt deer,
Hmm.
and they're hunting horns. And when I was hunting meat. But some people hunt horns and they want that rack. They want that beautiful rack. And I got the beautiful rack laying here and no body. And I've looked everywhere and I never found no body. Just a head. And then I found a body with no head. That was a couple of years ago. That was kind of freaky.
Yeah, yeah, that is creepy. My dad got a buck years ago, and he had it out in the garage, and the garage doesn't have a door on it. And the head was gone one day. We went and looked all over for it. Ended up finding it down by the creek, but we never. I mean, we just assumed it was coyotes, but yeah, for something to bring that to you, that's pretty strange.
Yeah. And I put, like I said, down there in that holler, I put two game cameras facing each other. They're like 50, I don't know, 60, 70 feet apart, but they're facing each other so they can keep an eye on one or the other. And I see tons of deer. But I have some pictures that I cannot explain where it looks like it looks like hair in front of the camera, just hair. And then I got some pictures that there's like only two or three that are there's a big brown mass, but it's how these game cameras are. And I have these are Browning. These are,
Oh
I
yeah,
guess, pretty good Browning game cameras.
yeah.
Uh,
I heard if you pull up the
and
SD card, like when it's on or something like that, it'll erase the photos. I don't know. That was like a certain model of Browning cameras, but they were really good quality, but that was like one of the cons for buying, a cheaper camera. But supposedly they're pretty good cameras.
Well, that's what I got. And I can't, guy gave it to me. He gave them to me.
Hmm.
He just said, here, I'm not using all these. And well, that's another story. But
Yeah.
yeah,
All I got is
it's,
cheap cameras, like $100 cameras, $80 cameras. Maybe the most is like 140, but anytime I get a good camera, it gets broken or stolen. So I'm gonna try to invest like on a better camera, like I don't know, one of the Reconyx or Spartan cameras where it has GPS. Even if someone steals it, even if the batteries are ripped out, it'll tell you where it's at. But man, they're so expensive. But I think it'd be worth it just because like my cheap cameras, I get like a bunch of blurry photos and sometimes you can't see what it is. And I don't know. I'm going to try to do something better.
yeah, that's what I got. I got a couple of pictures that I can't explain.
Hmm.
Uh, I
Yeah.
can't explain. It was right where all this activity happened. That's why I put it down there.
Okay.
I put them down there to, I actually told this is how I roll. I didn't even really want to see no more. But
Hmm.
he said, "Oh, take them and put them out and put them out." And I said, "I'll put them out there, but I'm not trying to see anything. I'm really not." Because when you see something, people think you're crazy.
Yeah.
So I just try, I'm really, really trying not to see anything.
Hmm. Well, it sounds like it's probably a good area. Have you ever explored close to where you've seen the Sasquatch? I'm assuming since you put up cameras there, right?
Well, within a mile of it's been a mile, where I lived, where I saw them, and where I've heard them. I heard screams, but they were way, way off, and they were way off. They were not like in my, at my house, or they were way off. And the sounds that I've heard, uh, yeah. And you know what? And that's what I tell people. If you're gonna see something, you got to get off the couch and you got to go outside. You can't sit on the couch and see anything. You got to be outside. You got to go out in the woods. You got to be out there. Let me ask you something.
Hmm.
So, one of the things that really bothers me with this show that's on TV right now, I don't know what the one that's on Direct TV. That and they're up in right now. I think they're up in Alaska. Looking for Bigfoot.
I'm not sure.
It's
It's not Expedition Bigfoot, is it? Or is it like
Yeah, yeah, that's it. Expedition Bigfoot.
hmm.
So here's my thing, and I told my wife, if you're going to be out in the woods looking for Bigfoot or listening or whatever you want to do, why would you have lights and turn on lights? And I know they're doing it for the show. Uh, they got to do show. They got to have lights. They're turning on lights. If you turn on a light, every animal in the woods is going to see that.
Hmm.
It doesn't make sense to me to be in the woods if you're looking and you're wanting to hear something or see something. Why would you turn on these lights? Flashlights. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I haven't really watched too much of it, just the clips that they have on YouTube, but I'd like to watch it and see what's going on, but yeah, I mean, when you have a camera crew there and you have lights, it's going to be hard to capture too much other than vocalizations maybe, but yeah, it's better to like sneak around in a ghillie suit or camo and just be quiet. Or I mean, you can
Yeah,
wear regular clothes, but it. I mean, I think that'd be your best shot. Just because I hear like a lot of turkey hunters have encounters and bow hunters, people that are fishing, um, things of that nature.
right. People that are blending in with the countryside. But
Hmm.
man, these animals, and I'm calling them animals, they are very intuitive, and they can. I think they're very intelligent,
Oh
and they
yeah.
can see anything. They can see everything. I just don't think they're going to show themselves because there's very few, and they're sparse. They're sparsely spread across the country. I just think they're very intelligent, and you cannot go out there with a flashlight looking for them. To me, it makes no sense. It makes no sense at all.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. What do you think the Sasquatch are? Like what you and your wife encountered, what you guys witnessed. What do you think that is?
I think, I think, and I'll have to tell you, my brother is a scientist at Davis University, and about almost 10 years ago, I said something to him about it, and he laughed at me. He said, "Bigfoot is that's just a farce. That's not true." Well, recent, in our recent conversations over the years, he now has said, "I think there could be," which I do. This is what my thought is. There could be things out there that man has not discovered yet. And so that's what I think. I think there's something out there that we haven't discovered.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
but I discovered it,
Uh-huh.
and it's real. It's real, and I just I I'm very cautious. Like I said, when I talk to people, if they bring up the subject matter, I will talk to them. But I do not talk to people about this. I let them bring it up, and if they want to talk about it, and I feel comfortable, I'll talk. But that's why when I when I called you, I was like, going, man, I got to make sure this is the right person before I start talking.
Right? They'd be like, "Bigfoot, what the heck you talking about?" But
Yeah.
I actually it hit me just now that I've taken a report off of Highway 47, and I've actually drove that highway a lot going like to Washington and stuff, but this encounter was in Washington, and a lady, and I think it was her husband, they saw some deer running out in a field, and they noticed the deer were like out of breath, and they've been ran hard by something, and she said there was a large white Sasquatch chasing those deer.
White. Oh,
Like a grayish
oh,
white.
yeah, grayish. Okay, I could go with that because what we saw was kind of grayish, brown, grayish. Yeah, grayish. Yep.
Yeah. So they're certainly out there, and yeah, I just think it's a really good area for Sasquatch just because of the waterways, and there's been like a lot of deer, like a lot of giant deer taken out from that area, and I don't know why they get so big, but I've noticed where there's like a lot of big deer and big deer herds, there's Sasquatch.
Well, I'll tell you right now, where I live, there are times, and I got pictures, and I could text those to you. I'll text, I could, or no, I'll email them if you could send me how I can email you from my, just email you. I could send you pictures with my dog out in front of my house with 10 deer standing there all together. My dog has made friends with the some fawns over the years. I mean, this place is crazy with deer. So that being said, as I'm just saying, everybody says if you got a lot of deer, you could have Sasquatch. Well, we have a lot of deer, and I mean a lot. They come out all the time. I mean, yeah, it's crazy amount of deer.
Yeah. That Lost Creek conservation area, I don't know how far that is from you. It's probably a good ways, but that looks pretty good. I'm looking on a map right now. Highway O all the way to like Lake St. Louis, that looks pretty good all around there. But yeah, I mean they could be anywhere out there. There's forest and all kinds of agriculture out there. A lot of farming going on as well. So there's definitely a food source, water, and that's the area where like the Indians would want to live anyways. Hominids, that's where they would go naturally.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that sign. Bigfoot saw me, but nobody believes me.
ain't that cool?
Yeah, yeah, that is cool. That's a pretty big
That's
buck
hang
there.
that's hanging in my shop. Everybody comes in and they look at that. And you know what? And that is and I leave that the sign is hanging in my shop, and I leave it up, and if somebody wants to talk, that's a good way to and I don't say nothing. I don't say nothing. It's just, they laugh. Some people just laugh, and that's the end of it. And I go, okay, all right. This is real. I'm believing it, man. This is real.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And yeah, that's a pretty good sized buck. If it was a gift, that's a pretty cool gift. I don't know what the meaning is behind it, but I don't know. They're definitely letting you know that they're watching you possibly, and could be the same ones you encountered. There could be a connection to that.
I, like I said, I don't know. Like, there's no animal that would do that. There's no animal that I know that would do that. The Because, like I said, just I don't know.
No,
It's
no, I
it's very
understand.
it's very uh, perplexing. I'll just say that. Are you recording this whole thing?
Yeah, yeah. Is that all right?
Well, I guess. I guess. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I just. Yeah. I guess. I've just. Like I said, I wasn't trying to be famous or do anything. I was just trying to. Because I know when I watch you, you want to know about what's going on. And if somebody can tell you something, and I for years I've never said nothing, and I've talked to my friend Mark, and I said, Mark, I'd probably like to talk to Miguel, and he goes, why don't you do it? And I said, because I don't want to get involved. He said, you ought to. He's had he's had Bigfoots, and there is no way that anybody could have done what happened at his. He lives in an A-frame, a big A-frame house. Well, anyway. There is no way he's had rocks thrown on the top of his house and hit that thing, and where he lives there is no rocks. He said, man, I'm looking around, I don't even know where this came from. Like where I live, we don't live unless you go down to the creek or something, there's no rocks around my house. There's nothing. He said, but how did this rock get thrown up and dented the top of his metal roof on his A-frame? Yeah, he said, yeah, that was. Oh, and then here's another story. He has a little cabin next to his A-frame, and I've stayed in it, and we've had some encounters there too. he said he put up, he has all these lights, that the stringing lights, like he just put up these lights out so that when people are at his cabin, they can see outside. And they're up about 9, 10 foot tall, hanging in through the trees, just so that people have lights. And he said every damn one of them lights were taken down and put in a piled up. And he said, there is nobody that's going to do that. No kids are going to do that. He said, you would have to have a ladder to take these lights down. Took down all the lights and piled them up next to his house.
Yeah, that is strange. My friend Bill put out Christmas lights and somebody cut the cable. I mean, that's what we think. I looked at the power cord because he had it going out in the woods where he had his encounter. That was in the Mark Twain forest. But yeah, somebody came up and cut it. So I'm not sure if it made like the neighbor mad or Sasquatch did that.
Yeah, no, he, like, I know where he lives, and he just told me that. Uh, that was last year. That happened last year, and he said, "Yep, all the lights were taken down." And I said, "Well, I was there," and I said, "I saw where they were. There's no way you could, without a ladder, could get, me and him, and I'm 6'5". I said, I couldn't take those lights down." He said, "No, every one of them were, and nothing was broken." He said, "Every one of them were taken down and all piled in a pile next to his house." So that's, do they do that kind of thing?
Yeah, yeah, I would say so. I've heard strange stories where they do that with people's like camping gear or equipment. They'll just like pile it up.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of stuff I'm hearing. So
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you for contacting me and sharing all that information. And if you encounter anything else, certainly let me know. Or if you experience anything else, feel free to reach out. And yeah, I believe you.
no, no, that's all good. Just don't, you can put whatever you want on what we talked about
Mhm.
on there, but I just don't want my name out there, because I just don't want, what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Maybe it's better if somebody says, "Hey, put my name on there." That'll make it more real. But I'm thinking, I don't need any more scoffing. I don't need no more scoffing.
No, I understand. I mean, mainly what's important to me is the report and where it took place and the details. So I don't need to know your name or anything like that. I don't think anybody else does either. So I appreciate
Yeah,
it, and it doesn't make it any less believable. Or I believe you. Especially being from Missouri, I know they're out there. I've seen them multiple times, like I said, and I'll have to send you my encounter story.
yeah, do it and do that. And then, you know what? If, and my friend always says, "Has anything came up and pounded on your house?" And I said, What are you asking me?" He said, "Has anything come, all the stuff you told me, has anything like pounded on your house or done anything like that?" And I said, "Oh my gosh, no, no, and I don't want nothing to pound on my house." I said, "No, I haven't had that." He's actually had that.
Yeah.
So, uh, I got his phone number, and you could talk to him, but he's real country, and he's real, he just, he's like a country boy deluxe. He just, I just, when I tell him that I talked to you, he's going to be so excited, because he watches everything you put out there.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be cool, and I appreciate that.
In fact, half the stuff I get is from him. He texts me. He does do that.
Hmm.
He texts me, oh, Miguel did this. Miguel said this. Miguel said that. I'm going, okay, all right. I'm listening. I'm watching.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool knowing people are watching the channel, and yeah, hopefully we get some more Missouri reports, and I'm sure people have had sightings recently, but like you said, a lot of people don't want to talk about it, and it's taboo for a lot of people.
Yeah. And you know what? Man, I'm praying to God, y'all get something concrete. I'm praying. I've been doing that for the last couple of years. I'm praying you get something concrete because you're putting in the time and effort and going out in the woods and beating the woods and doing what you're doing. I'm hoping you get something concrete. We could shut down these naysayers.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm
I
hoping
want,
for too. Hopefully, one's just standing out in the yard or just wide out in the open, and I have my camera on me.
yeah, I'm hoping you do that, man. That would be great. And it's going to be a person like you because, like I said, half the people sitting on the couch ain't gonna see nothing, and none of this is real until you go out and see it yourself.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, and that's how it works, unfortunately. All right, sir. Well, I appreciate the report and your willingness to tell your encounter and allow me to record all this. And yeah, I think it's worth putting up on the channel just because it's a sighting. You and your wife saw it, and the area that you described is known to have Sasquatch around.
All right, sounds good. I'll be watching. If you're going to put that out there, that'd be good. That'd be cool.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good. And like I said, if you see anything else, feel free to reach out. And I appreciate you for talking to me today.
I think, yeah, that was great. I'm glad we got to talk.
Yeah, you take care, and we'll talk in the future, sir.
All right, have a good day.
Yep, you
Bye-bye.
too. See ya. All right, thank you very much for sharing the encounter that you and your wife experienced while driving down the road one day. And the buck that was gifted is very interesting because, like I said, one year my dad got a really nice buck and he hung it up in the garage. The next morning, it was completely gone. We looked all around and could not find it. And finally, later on in the day, my father was able to find it down in the creek bottom, and that's like a quarter-mile away. There was no bite marks on the rack, on the skin, the hide, anything like that, and we found it to be very unusual. The only thing we could chalk it up to be was coyotes, but after I had my encounters, I thought about that instance, and I thought, man, that had to have been Bigfoot, because like I said, there were no bite marks, no chew marks on it, and it was in perfect shape down by the creek bottom. Perhaps that's what happened to a hunter in your nearby area, in your neck of the woods, and possibly they took it from a hunter and brought it onto your property and you found it. It's difficult to say why they do these things or if the Sasquatch even did it at all, but we can only speculate on what's going on around the property with a person who had encounters. But like he said, a hunter would not give that up, especially a buck of that caliber. So it is unusual, and I appreciate him for sharing it nonetheless. If you have a Bigfoot encounter that you would like to log down on Sasquatch Theory, please contact me by email. And sometimes it takes me a while to get back to everyone, but just be patient and I will reach back out. Be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you everyone for watching. Be safe and take care.